Under a pale autumn sun, the decks of the USS George Washington gleam in the harbor of Yokosuka. The air is heavy with ceremony, yet there's a sense that this day carries more than protocol. Rows of American sailors stand in perfect formation, the stars and stripes fluttering beside the rising sun of Japan. Cameras flash as US President Donald Trump steps to the podium, the deep rumble of applause rising from the assembled troops and dignitaries. Trump's speech begins with characteristic confidence. He praises the enduring bond between Washington and Tokyo, recalling decades of cooperation built on mutual respect and shared sacrifice. His words strike a chord with the officers around him, but the moment everyone is waiting for comes when Japan's new leader approaches the stage, Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, the first woman in the nation's history to hold the post. The two leaders exchange a firm handshake before turning to face the crowd. Behind them, the carrier's deck bristles with the outlines of fighter jets, a visible reminder of what this alliance represents. The symbolism is deliberate. The United States and Japan are marking a strategic turning point, one that comes amid rising regional tensions and a growing sense that peace in the Indo-Pacific can no longer be taken for granted. Takaichi's voice is steady as she begins to speak in Japanese, her tone calm but charged with resolve. Today we are facing an unprecedented security environment, she declares. Peace cannot be preserved by mere words. It can only be protected by unwavering determination and actions. The translation ripples through the speakers, each word landing with the weight of policy, not rhetoric. Around her, US officials nod. The message is unmistakable. Japan is no longer content to rely solely on the protection of others. Moments later, she continues, Japan is committed to fundamentally strengthening its defense capabilities and is ready to contribute even more proactively to peace and stability in the region. It's a statement that signals the dawn of a new strategic era, one where Tokyo steps out from under the post-war constraints that long defined its military policy. The crowd of sailors and journalists absorbs her words in silence. For Japan, fundamentally strengthening defense capabilities means more than budget increases. It means rewriting the assumptions that have guided its security doctrine since 1945. Takaichi's administration is pushing forward plans to expand Japan's missile defense systems, develop counter-strike capabilities, and deepen intelligence sharing with the United States. It's a transformation decades in the making, accelerated by a neighborhood growing more volatile by the day. The camera pans across the audience, American naval officers, Japanese defense officials, and the faces of younger service members who have grown up in an age defined by digital warfare and regional uncertainty. Trump steps forward again, gesturing toward Takaichi as he commends her determination. He calls Japan a steadfast ally and praises its leadership in standing up for freedom, strength, and peace in the Pacific. His words are punctuated by applause, but it's Takaichi's measured tone that lingers in the air. This visit, though ceremonial on the surface, carries deep geopolitical significance. The USS George Washington, itself a symbol of American power projection, serves as the backdrop for what analysts are calling the most assertive redefinition of Japan's security policy in generations. The presence of the US president underscores Washington's encouragement of Japan's evolving role, particularly as China expands its military footprint and North Korea continues to test ballistic missiles over Japanese waters. As the speeches conclude, the two leaders stand side by side for photographs, their expressions serious, almost unsmiling. The moment captures the essence of the new US-Japan dynamic. Respect forged through shared purpose, not sentiment. Around them, sailors salute as the national anthems play in sequence, echoing across the bay. The sound blends into the mechanical hum of the carrier's deck, a reminder that behind the diplomacy lies hard power. Later, at a private briefing inside the ship, senior Japanese and American defense officials exchanged documents outlining new joint training schedules and expanded maritime patrol coordination. These measures, insiders say, are designed to ensure that Japan's self-defense forces can operate more seamlessly with US Pacific Command in any regional contingency. The emphasis is on deterrence, not provocation, but readiness. In Tokyo, reactions to Takaichi's remarks ripple quickly through the political establishment. Supporters hail her as a decisive leader, unafraid to confront reality, while critics warn that fundamentally strengthening defense might draw Japan into future conflicts. Yet even her opponents concede that the strategic environment has changed, with Chinese vessels entering disputed waters near the Senkaku Islands and North Korean missiles crossing Japanese airspace. The public mood is shifting toward resilience rather than restraint. For the United States, Takaichi's message represents exactly what Washington has been urging for years: a Japan willing to take on a greater share of regional security responsibility. Trump's administration, long vocal about burden sharing among allies, sees Tokyo's initiative as both a practical and symbolic success. In his remarks to reporters aboard the carrier, Trump reiterates that the alliance between the United States and Japan has never been stronger, calling it the cornerstone of peace in the Indo-Pacific. Outside, as the afternoon light glints off the Pacific, the two leaders descend the metal staircase from the flight deck. Below them, rows of sailors line the passageway, clapping rhythmically as they pass. It's a moment choreographed for cameras, yet layered with meaning. Every step down that gangway seems to echo a shared understanding that deterrence, partnership, and preparation are now inseparable. When the convoy departs the harbour, Japanese destroyers and American frigates stand anchored nearby, quiet witnesses to a relationship both historical and evolving. The hum of engines fades, leaving only the sound of wind against steel. The scene closes not with fanfare, but with a sense of deliberate calm, the calm of nations choosing readiness over complacency. In the hours that follow, Japanese media replay Takaichi's remarks in full, dissecting her use of the phrase unwavering determination. Commentators note how unusual it is for a Japanese leader to speak so openly about power projection and proactive defense. Editorials describe her as signaling a break from the pacifist restraint that has long characterized post-war Japan, a break that may define her tenure. In Washington, the mood is equally attentive. Defense officials brief the press that Japan's upcoming budget will include record allocations for missile defense, space surveillance, and cybersecurity, areas where cooperation with the US is set to deepen. Behind closed doors, diplomats quietly acknowledge that this shift strengthens America's strategic posture across Asia. As night falls over Yokosuka, the USS George Washington glows under floodlights, a symbol of reassurance for one ally and resolve for another. The ship's silhouette against the dark water seems to encapsulate what both Trump and Takaichi have sought to project: unity, readiness, and a willingness to act. For Takaichi, this appearance marks her first major international stage since assuming office. Her words today will echo through parliaments and defense circles alike, reinforcing her image as a leader intent on recalibrating Japan's place in the world. For Trump, it's another chapter in his campaign to reinforce US dominance in Asia while urging allies to step forward. Their partnership, shaped by mutual calculation and shared risk, has set a new tone for the Indo-Pacific, one defined not by hesitation, but by determination. As the last camera crews pack away their gear, the harbour returns to its usual quiet rhythm. But beneath that stillness, something fundamental has shifted. Japan's vow to fundamentally strengthen its defence is no longer a line from a policy paper. It's a declaration delivered before the world aboard a symbol of American might, and it marks the beginning of a new strategic era in East Asia.
We've done it fast because of people like you, so I want to thank you very much. And I want to recognize, they used to say, to the victor belong the spoils. Well, we'd be the victor that would leave. This woman is a winner, so, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. Terrible war, our bond has grown over 8 decades into the beautiful friendship that we have. It's a foundation of peace, respect for the new and incredible Prime Minister. And I have to say this, the first female Prime Minister. 我が国と地域の平和と安全のために尽力してくださっている自衛隊員。前に、ありがとう。Thank you. 今、我々はかつてないほど厳しい安全保障環境に直面しています。平和は言葉だけではなく、確固たる決意と行動によってこそ守られます。今後、日本の防衛力を抜本的に強化して、
この地域の平和と安定により一層積極的に貢献していきます。